It was presented by Westside Decorating Center. Visit them at 5789 State Street in Saginaw. Go online, westsidedecoratingcenter.com. Jonathan Dent filling in for Art today and tomorrow, alongside Matt Fallon here, at least for today. We're out at the Dow Championship at the Midland Country Club on a beautiful, warm, but beautiful morning for some LPGA golf.
Good morning, Jonathan. So first of all, it's spectacular. I mean, you look, it is chamber weather. The skies are going completely blue. Last night, storms behind us. We are looking over the 18th, and at least from what I can see, the angle that I have, I can see the green. 2 shots right there on the green. Clearly, I am not golfing. Thank God for everybody out there who is protected. This tournament's amazing, Jonathan. I think my favorite part of this tournament, and Midland does this exceptionally well and has a long history of it. This is not just a sports tournament or professional sports tournament. These are literally the elite, best of the best women golfers on the planet. 11 of the top 25 ranked players in the world are in Midland, Michigan this weekend, and I'm looking forward to it when we're done today. The number 1 golfer in the world, Nelly Korda, who is literally just destroying every golf course she's on. She's won 4 tournaments already in 2026, including the Women's U.S. Open last week. That's what I love about this tournament, Jonathan. It is the highest level professional golf that you can find.
I was looking at the teams here today, and it's an international event. There's players from all over the world here, but I didn't realize there were 70 teams.
Yeah, there are.
That's crazy.
And so, if you haven't been here before and may not know golf in detail, so what happens is it starts with 70, and today they tee off on holes 1 and 10. That way they get the pace, they get the course full in a hurry. After the first 2 days, there's the cut, though, and they break that in half. And it's actually, the years we've done this, I've kind of studied it. People think, oh, professional golfers, they all just make unlimited sums of money, and your elite golfers do exceptionally well. But your golfers who don't make the cut, they come in and they pay for their travel in, and they pay for their accommodations, and they come in, and if you don't make that cut, the dollar figure is pretty minimal, and then you're right back out, and you have to go to the next tournament. And so for a lot of these women professional golfers, it is quite the fight, to maintain and to stay. And one of the things I've loved about the tournament in the 7 years that we've hosted it, we've had a different winner every time, or different winners. And oftentimes some of those winners have been maybe not that highest level Nelly Korda type, and it's really helped push their career to a spot that it's never been, or those winnings from this one tournament put them in a position where they can survive the entire year. So it's been interesting to watch throughout the time.
Absolutely. We're going to be broadcasting out here all of today and tomorrow, but you can be sure to come out during the weekend as well, as the format changes.
It does. So today is going to be a tougher scoring day, so it's alternate shots.
That's
so
right.
Let's say you and I were playing. I would hit shot 1, leave you in a horrible spot. Now you have to hit shot 2. Then I hit shot 3.
I leave you in a worse spot.
Exactly,
Yep.
and so on and so forth. So there's kind of a cadence. On the second days, on Friday and Sunday, it's best ball. So you and I just play our own shot, and at the end of the hole, they take the best score. So when I get a birdie and you shoot a 12, my birdie counts on the scorecard. We just erase your 12.
Yep.
But what's cool about that, because the 2 teammates can really play off one another, and they know, okay, I have a partner here, they really just kind of,
I can take
no
the
sense,
riskier
they
chances.
go for it.
Yeah.
It's and so they take the shot that goes, okay, I want to get as close as I can. I'm not just going to play it safe here. So they play it safer today and Saturday, and then the scores just plummet on Friday and Sunday, and it makes it a ton of fun. And I'm glad you brought that up. It is the only LPGA team event that's out there, which makes the Dow Championship such a unique event on the tour.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to talk more about the Dow Championship with our guest, at least for the first part of this hour. No stranger to the show, Kayla Pionk from Go Great Lakes Bay Convention Visitors Bureau. Kayla, good morning.
Good morning, Jonathan. Good morning, Matt. How are you guys?
We are great. So good to see you, because I feel like today is really about you. Kayla, today is well, maybe not your day, but how does Go Greats Day? This is your day, your weekend.
Go Great is we're a partner to anybody within the region, right? And anytime we have an organization such as Dow and Outlier wanting to bring in such beautiful events that bring people into our region, not only to celebrate the event and experience the event, but see all the supporting items that we have around, it's fantastic. We're very fortunate to live where we are. It's surrounded by great waterways, golf in any which direction within a 30-mile radius, right? And some great food and drinks, and we can really do it right to any visitor that comes into the region. So I encourage anybody, if you have not been to the Dow Championship, if you are an avid golfer fan, even if you're not a golfing fan but want to check out some of the world's best athletes, you can do this very easily this weekend through Sunday.
And I just want to add on that because sometimes when you go to an event, right? Let's use Jonathan Dent and I as the examples because we talk about price of things, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Or let's look at last night's Knicks game.
Yeah.
Listen, we're not sitting on Celebrity Row.
Right.
We're not there with Tay and
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet in the first row because it's
Exactly.
super expensive to do that,
Yeah,
right?
it's even expensive to do it in the 200 level seats,
Correct.
right?
What's awesome about this, when you come out to the Dow Championship, you can be literally right next to the tee box.
Exceptionally
You can
affordable.
be 10 feet away from the number one woman in the world golfer and get to see how well they strike the ball. The proximity that you get at this tournament for Jonathan Dent prices of $10 to get in a day. I think that's what I was surprised at most the first time I came out here. I'm like, wait a minute, like everyone's right here and you can walk with them. And from my interactions, the women are phenomenal
The
people.
women
and they-
are truly
Yes.
fantastic to interact with. And again, the affordability is wonderful. The proximity to an athlete is great. Like you said, you can be 5 feet away from them, watching them tee off. But the excitement on a tee box as well as the putting green is fantastic. Now, of course, you have your marshals telling you to be quiet in the backswing, right? But at the end, to see the roar, especially what we saw last year coming, to a shoot-off, that's insane. It is the epitome of sports entertainment and excitement. And especially, you were talking about ticket prices. I saw the other day what tickets were going for the FIFA World Cup, right? Like, some of those tickets are my salary. I can't take my family to that. You can bring your family here. And that's what's so fantastic about it, because not only is it just golf, it's not just golf. We have a fantastic STEM center that the kids can experience. We have a family center where they can try their hand at golf in some fun obstacle course ways. There's great food out here, and the logistics are super simple. It's parking at the Midland County Fairgrounds, taking a charter bus over here that drops you off right at the entrance. Easy access for anybody to come onto the course in the greens, and then you have that same exit. It's perfect.
So, Jonathan, my question for you is, are you going to watch golf when we're done today? Did you push off some of that work, and are you going to come out and enjoy food and watch golf for the rest of the afternoon?
Maybe tomorrow.
Okay, well, we're making progress.
Challenge,
folks.
you have
We
to.
are
Can't do
making
it today.
progress.
Do it.
As much as I'd love to.
So one of the other things that I love, Kayla, that they do is the veterans. Dow has
Absolutely.
had a great commitment to veterans through the years. There's
Yes.
a veterans tent. Veterans can come in for free.
Absolutely, no cost.
And they're, I think my favorite that they do is Sundays on Sunday.
Yeah.
They make ice cream sundaes out there. So veterans,
great.
if you're listening, this is a great event for you to come out. Dow and the tournament will be the ultimate host. There's a separate seating area, tent,
Your
kind
very
of a
own
cool area. It's
hospitality
awesome.
tent.
Yeah.
Yes. We want to show our appreciation to our veterans and the service that they've provided to our country. And again, like you said, Dow just does it first class.
They do. So you'll appreciate this story.
Sure.
So many of the years I've been able to tee announce on 10. And in between waves coming, I will just kind of talk to some of the folks that are watching and sitting in chairs and some of the fans. And 2 years ago, I go over and I see this lovely couple, and I'm like, hey, how are you guys doing? Where are you from? and like, we are from London, Ontario, Canada.
Yes, we love our Canadians.
Well, we do, but does London count in there? Is that maybe
Well,
the one city that doesn't get quite as
if
much
you
love?
remove the CHL from the proximity or the OHL rivalry that we have with the Spirit, yes, we love our London Ontarians.
So it was pretty funny because I saw him and I immediately picked up one of the chairs like I was going to get him. And then I said it. I'm like, never mind. Welcome to the Great Lakes Bay region. It's great to even have you fine folks from London. But they were awesome. They were watching a young girl who had was an amateur but had come from the London area. But do you know what caught my attention? And you'll love this. They had been here several times to watch
Fantastic.
London play Saginaw. And despite the big rivalry, Memorial Cup and those pieces, they fell in love with the area. It's one of the spots that they just come to regularly. Just like, say, I don't know, someone in the room that may be going to Traverse City soon.
Right.
Everyone kind of has their thing in the place they go to.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things I love in chatting with so many people is when you come out, the region comes out in droves, but we really bring in a lot of folks from across the area that come here for this tournament, and just what a great thing for tourism.
We do, and I think you spoke to it, right? Like, the community comes out and supports, but it's not just monetarily supporting. It's that household Midwestern welcome, right? You walk into a restaurant, you could be talking to the wait staff. We did it the other night. We went to Grazie, and our waiter was from Phoenix, but he is a QB for Saginaw Valley. And he had the opportunity to come here on scholarship. He said, I've never heard of Michigan, but I've been in Saginaw for so long, and I love it. And he's, kind of working during his summer to bide his time because he likes to stay busy. But hearing his story, that's how most of our wait staff is. That's how most of our individuals who live in the area are. It's just it starts with a simple hello, and then you build those relationships and those memories, and that's what keeps people coming back.
That's really exciting. We can't take a break yet.
Look at
We're
you
going to
go.
keep talking.
I'm normally looking at this time, and I'm like,
Yeah,
Jonathan,
no.
this is normally our break time. This is where to go.
Yeah.
So I want to hit on one other thing, which I love about this tournament and kind of where it's located. Being in Midland, we talk about being centrally located, right?
Right.
And so we are 30 minutes down the road on M20 from our friends in Mount Pleasant.
Yes.
And the ability to not just come here and enjoy golf, but now you have the largest gaming floor in the Midwest over at Soaring Eagle Casino. You have a water park. You talk about golf, that radius, if you keep going, phenomenal golf over in the Mount
Polecat.
Pleasant area. The Polecat, Bucks Run. And I would even argue if you keep going a little bit further west, our friends over at Tullymore and St. Ives and Canadian Lakes, just some other outstanding golf options. I think that's one of the cool things, I never like when someone says, well, I don't know what to do. And
Right.
I laugh and go, you have no idea. But if you just think about getting out of that 5-minute drive and really think about what this region does, there's so much you can do at
Well,
any
and
given
think
moment.
about that 30-minute drive you just said. You're heading to a different city, right? A lot of times people put that in proximity. That's their commute to work just within the city itself. So now I'm showing you a different city in close proximity. And you were talking about all the things to do in Mount Pleasant there, too. On your way back from Mount Pleasant, stop by Dow Gardens. We have a wonderful world exhibit there right now called Dinosaurs Around the World. Animatronic life-size dinosaurs that are placed throughout our 110-acre garden. So if you're looking for something a little more relaxed, pack a picnic lunch, come there, experience the dinosaurs in the gardens. I mean, go do a little gambling, hit up a water park, go to the gardens, stop by Dow Diamond, do a Loons game on top of golf. And I guarantee you that price point, that budget is going to be much lower than, scheduling a couple plane tickets and heading south and experiencing 115 degree, heat index.
And then you can go do something completely different the next day, and the next
Exactly.
day, and the next day.
Well,
So,
Saginaw Art Museum
Yeah.
has an Andy Warhol exhibit right now, which is fantastic. Again, these exhibits are hard to bring in for larger cities, let alone our region, and we're so fortunate to have that at our doorstep, right?
we're going to talk a little bit about kind of the combined resources of our region after these notes.
Love it.
Got a home repair problem? Don't get mad.
Welcome Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. Jonathan Dent filling in for Art from the Dow Championship here at the Midland Country Club. I'm along with Matt Falon. We're talking with Kayla Pionk from Go Great Convention and Visitors Bureau, and we were talking a little bit before the break, Kayla, about just some of the fun stuff to do in the area, especially with professional golf in town. But when we're talking about the role of the CVB when it comes to leveraging all of that, there's a lot of moving pieces. How are you able to keep track of it all? And how do you use that to try and attract people to the region?
Sure. So the strategy we have with Go Great Lakes Bay is an important one. First, what's ever good for our residents is inherently good for our guests, right? At one point, a resident was a visitor. Whether they came in for a college visit, they came in for a job interview, they were little when their parents relocated and they decided to stay here. It all starts with a visit, right? And you come with a visit and maybe you see it's a place that you want to live because of all of the items it has there, the attractions, the amenities, the cost of living. So then you decide to move there. And then you decide to get a job there. So now you've invested your money with your home. You've invested your time with your job, but you want to see that place still succeed because that's where you've placed your roots. So now you're investing your time, your efforts, your money. It's a continuous cycle. So we want to make sure whatever is inherently good for our guests or our residents is good for our visitors, right? And that's how we draw a visitor because, again, it's our resident that brings the visitors in. They're bringing family members. They're organizing youth ball tournaments or volleyball tournaments to bring in teams that their kids may play. They're part of associations that are having annual conferences, staying in our hotels, staying at our campgrounds, using our banquet facilities. They're bringing in weddings. That's all tourism. And with that, usually somebody comes in for a main event like the Dow Championship, but you need things to supplement that to bide our time because we all know we don't like to relax in our U.S. society. We like to stay busy and keep going. So you have your fantastic restaurants. You have your fantastic bars. You have your fantastic athletic amenities, waterfronts. Learn to sail on the Saginaw River. Did you know we have the Saginaw Bay Community Sailing Association? They will teach you to sail. Ages 8 to adult. Actually, they have a free sailing learn to sail weekend on the 13th. Jonathan's taking notes right now. Yeah. We have some, again, it's just you got to take your opportunity to explore. And with that, you need a resource, right? Things can be overwhelming. You don't know where to start, don't know where to look. We have a fantastic creative team at Go Great. GoGreat.com is our website. Any of our partners, which is any small business or restaurant, hotel, attraction, they can list their events on our website at gogreat.com/events. So if you're looking for things to do and you want to base it on interest, go to that site. You can see it based on a week. You can see it based on a month. You can search it by keyword. We want to be that central location for our visitor. So it is a lot, but we love what we do because we love where we live and we want to see it continue to succeed. And the best way is to get that message out.
Kayla, one of the things that I always love to remind people of, and I've seen it with close friends of mine, the last word of Go Great Lakes Bay. Yeah. That water and what it means. And I've brought friends in from Virginia, from Kentucky. We've gone out on the boat and gone to like the Bay City fireworks on the big night, or it's just a beautiful day. And you turn out and go out into the bay. And I like to go out a good 10, 15 miles and just turn off the engine and float. And generally every single time the response is, I had no idea it was this beautiful. The
sunset.
I had no idea it looked like this. When you're in the middle of the bay, they're like, I feel like I'm on an ocean on a map. It just looks like this little body of water. And then you get out there, and it's kind of that moment where you're like, oh.
The heavens open up, right?
I think that's one of our great opportunities is to highlight that water even more. To
Absolutely.
highlight that use. It really is amazing. You think about the best fishing you can find right now in the Great Lakes is here. The
Nationally.
tournaments coming here. It's unbelievable.
I mean, you want some supreme bass fishing? Come to Saginaw Bay. We actually held a Bassmasters, I think it was Bassmasters tournament last year at the end of August, early September. The professional fishermen that came in from the South, Tennessee, Kentucky, Louisiana, they'd cast, pull a fish in, weigh it, throw it back. Cast, pull a fish in. They're like, we've never had fishing like this. This is ridiculous. We are some of the best in the nation, and nobody knows that. So we're working hard on that.
Do you know what I learned, though? Why?
What's that?
That's because we're in this area that live here too busy fishing for walleye and eating walleye. No one's bothering the bass.
Right.
And the bass population's exploded to the point where we take it for granted, but apparently it's the best bass fishing
It's
right
the
now in
best.
the country
It is.
because we're too busy frying walleye on a
Yeah.
Friday night. So.
That's exactly it. And I love that you touched point on the waterways. So we did a sentiment study, I want to say 5 years ago, prior to when I was with the CVB. And one of the things that we noticed in that sentiment survey is nobody associated the waterways with the Great Lakes Bay region, which just blew my mind. I grew up here. I grew up in the Thumb, miles away from Port Austin. So we spent our time on Lake Huron, right? We didn't have a pool. We just went to the lake. So for people, visitors or residents, to not associate that waterways, that just blew me away. So we're really working on that. We have the Princess Winona that's on the Saginaw River that does some beautiful cruises. We have public docking out on Saginaw River as well at the yacht clubs where people can come in and enjoy our restaurants just for an evening or walk the downtowns. Again, Saginaw Bay Community Sailing Association teaches sailing to kids. I'll tell you, Sight to Sea is an 8-year-old operating, I think they're called a pram. They're out on the river. They do have adult supervision and adult coaching, but they're on their own little boat learning how to, and I'm not going to say all the things, but hoist a jib and raise the sail and learning to flip the boat for safety and to get back on. Those are huge skill sets that we need on our waterways, but again, people aren't associating our waterways here. But leisure, too. To be on a boat and just, float and see a cotton candy sunset. I spoke to a woman that lived in Tennessee her whole life. Her husband relocated for a job here, and they reside in my town. She'd said she's never seen sunsets like she sees here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
Awesome. Kaylee, we've got to move on here. Oh,
I have a question.
okay, Art Lewis on the mic here.
Love it.
Kayla,
Yes, sir.
Falon ever invited you on his boat?
Not yet.
Jonathan, has Falon ever invited
not
you on
yet.
it? No. I don't remember that either.
I think we're having one of those audio problems
Audio
again, but things are breaking up. Sorry, folks. Bad coverage.
Well, I've got one more question for you,
Sure.
too, Kayla, here before we let you go. We've got golf tournaments, we've got fishing tournaments, we've got all sorts of fun things.
Mm-hmm.
When is World Cup soccer coming to the Great Lakes?
Build the facility and they will come.
All right, we'll
But I
see.
will tell you, if you're looking for World Cup, we do have some great facilities that are going to be playing those games nonstop. I think they start today, right?
Yeah, starting today.
So 48 nations that are going to be competing for this fantastic title of the World Cup champion. I cannot believe the craze that has picked up around it, but the number of international visitors that are coming into the U.S. I'm very excited for them to see the U.S. is here. We've got our arms open. We want to give you that welcome and show you, come visit, come see what we're about. And if you're up in that Ohio region, we're only a couple hours away.
too
Drive
far.
up and come visit the region.
Absolutely. Kayla, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jonathan.
We'll be back after this.
Big insurance, big pharma.
And we're back here on the Art Lewis Show with Jonathan Dent filling in today, along with Matt Falon, and had a great time talking with Kayla Pyack from Great Lakes Bay Convention and Visitors Bureau. Now we're going to turn our attention to some of the work that gets done around here. We're joined by John Lynch and Chris Maltrip from Thrivers Corporation, and man, you guys are all over the place here in Midland and around the region. How have things been going?
Things are good. Things are good. Yeah, it's been a very busy spring and onset to summer, we'll call it. So yeah, this is a really crazy time of year for us. You know,
I
construction
bet.
in general, people think of it as a seasonal pursuit, but it's a year-round gig. And things really accelerate for us coming out of the middle of winter, and right now we're just running around in circles trying to keep the ends of the rope tied together.
So, John, I have to ask, because you see it everywhere. I'm surrounded in a room full of black polos that all have that number 50 embroidered beautifully. 50 years of Three Rivers?
Yes, yes. So John and Sandy Bartos founded the company in September of 1976. We're celebrating 50 years in business, which, is no small feat for any business, but for a construction firm in particular, it's quite an accomplishment because it's a risky business all the way around, and it's a wonderful organization that is made up of just amazing people. Has been for 50 years.
Yeah, and you guys are unique because a lot of the construction companies are family owned, right? And they pass generation to generation. You guys are structured a little bit differently with a board, and it's not necessarily a family thing. I think sometimes people even get confused because they're so used to family-run operations. How are you guys set up?
Yeah, well, when John and Sandy got out of the business, they actually essentially sold it to a group of employees, and they structured the transfer of ownership so that it could be replicated from generation to generation of employee groups. And so the company is a closely held C corporation, and it has passed from employee operators over the years. And we're in the 5th generation of that cycle. It's a cycle that is very uncommon for a family-founded company, and as you point out, very unusual for a construction company. That organizational format is something that we have to keep a close eye on in terms of how we promote our sustainability going forward, because we intend to be here for another 50 years, and we work really hard to support the communities that we have an opportunity to work in. And this environment that we operate in today is incredibly challenging for a variety of reasons, and we're always mindful of what does it take to make sure that we don't just survive, but we flourish for our employees and our customers and our communities, for decades to come.
So as we think about Three Rivers, we obviously think about construction. If we're going around the region these days, what are you guys working on? What are some of the big projects right now?
Well, I think one of the more exciting that you really don't see or hear a lot about at the moment is a new research facility for Corteva, and the manufacturing lifeblood of Midland in particular, and the region as a whole, is something that people know about, and we kind of take it for granted every now and again. And when you see an entity like Corteva investing in R&D capabilities right here in our town, it's a signal for the long-term prosperity for a company like that's going through its own reshaping and repositioning for the future. And sometimes, we have an inclination to sit back and maybe be a little concerned about what does that mean for us in the long term. And when you see the investment that's being made in research and development in particular, and what that signals for where they're going, that's very exciting. That is very exciting. So I had an opportunity to tour the progress on that project in particular here last week, and coming along nicely, and the team's doing a great job. We have a great customer, and it speaks well for reinvestment inside the fence line here at the Legacy iPark, and that's the kind of thing that people don't see every day, but boy, it's great news.
Absolutely. We're going to talk a little bit more about Three Rivers Corporation, some of the projects going on, and what the next 50 years might hold for them after these
Warmer
notes.
weather is here, and
Back here on the Art Lewis Show, Jonathan Dent, Matt Falon hosting today from the Dow Championship at the Midland Country Club. Happy to be along with John Lynch and Chris Maltrup from Three Rivers Corporation. We were just talking a little bit about some of the projects that you have going on, a new R&D facility going up. What else is Three Rivers up to as we get into the summer months here in Michigan?
Well, we've got projects all over the state of Michigan, from Frankfort to Traverse City, over to Alpena, and all the way up to Sault Ste. Marie. Some of our largest customers are expanding, like My Michigan Health and others, and we tend to go with them wherever they land and continue that partnership throughout the state. So you may see our trucks as far away as Harbor Beach, as always, and even up to Marquette in some places.
Good to stay busy.
It is.
It's better than good. It's the goal.
Yeah, exactly.
So I hate to do this, but there's no way, we're looking out over the 18th. We are here at the Dow Championship, and Three Rivers, you guys have been stalwart, staunch supporters of this event from the very start. Explain to me why, when this was brought up by Dow and they said, we're bringing this golf tournament here, you guys were one of the very first to jump on board and say, yes, we're going to be a part of this, we're going to sponsor. Why is this so important to you guys?
We were the very first. We were the very first.
Not one of the very first.
Yeah. And so there's a line that I use every once in a while when I'm talking to crowds of people. You refer to, you know what I'm talking about?
I've stolen your line so many times, I apologize.
Yeah.
You really should get a nickel every time it's used.
Yeah, right. So it's are you a citizen or do you just live here? And that applies to so many things. And for us, in a corporate context, we strive to be good corporate citizens. And when you look at this tournament and what it does, not just for the economic situation in the community, because it's got a wide-ranging impact, but I was just at the SOAR event before we came up, and you see students from all over the region having an opportunity to interact with people like Barry Sanders, for example, today, who's here. And you see the outreach that is baked into this event to schools across the region, businesses across the region. Today, the American Heart Association, throughout the tournament, they're going to be set up out in the fourth hole, teaching people how to do CPR. So this effort is in tremendous alignment with what we value as a corporation. And of course, Dow is a long-time tremendous customer and supporter of Three Rivers and vice versa. So it was natural for us to start as a supporter of this effort that has such great community-wide integration. But it boils down to the value system. I mean, this isn't just golf. Don't get me wrong, the golf is amazing. The women out there competing are so incredibly talented. I encourage everybody listening, come out and watch these women play, because they perform at such a high level. It's astonishing to see. But it's so much more than that. It's so much more than that. And so that just fits with who we are.
So I'm going to need y'all to do me a favor, because my wife literally sent me a note. She's at SOAR as well, and said we need to go to the fourth hole to learn CPR, but also to operate defibrillators. They're teaching people.
Yes.
And this is important. I have a genetic heart condition and some issues. So we actually had a funny moment. I'm like, I actually don't need to know how to operate it, but anyone who knows me, I'm going to need you to. So if y'all can stop out there at 4, just in case I ever go down when we're hanging out, that would be awesome. But your point, though, it's so much more than golf to think about. You're out in an event, and we're supporting heart health, and we're teaching CPR and how to operate a defibrillator. And I say that in a joking manner, but literally, people like ourselves who learn that one time, you never know if you're at that middle school game watching a kid or a grandkid and something happens, you're like, oh, I know what to do. You can literally save lives by attending a golf outing.
Isn't that amazing? Talk about being a force multiplier. That's really the bottom line. This is a force multiplier for community impact.
It is. So I have one question, though, on SOAR. If you saw Barry Sanders, did you say, just why, man? Why? You couldn't give us like 3 to 5 more years? Just why? Did you ask him?
I did not, but somebody did.
Yes.
And his response to that was, I had been in the league for 10 years, and he reminded all of us who've been following the team for a long time that the Lions were a much different team then. And he had gotten to a point where he just didn't feel like he could give the same way that he had been up to that point. And so he knew in his heart that it was just the right time. And he said, I hated to disappoint people, but I knew I'd be disappointing myself, essentially, as time went on if he just stuck in there. Now, he did say he would have been open-minded that if they had a Super Bowl run in there, his position would have been different. But, yeah, he was fantastic. He was fantastic.
He looks like he could still play, and we may have a Super Bowl run in us. Why not? He can do that whole thing like the great one did in hockey. And played in his 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And
he said that if they called, he'd sign up to be with Dan Campbell right now. He's ready to go.
I love it. I can't begin to thank John, Chris, everyone here from Three Rivers. What you do, what you say about being a citizen is so important. And tournaments like this wouldn't continue on. We saw one this week is done. These don't continue on without your community support, and I hope you know how invaluable you are to the success of this tournament.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate being here today, and it's fantastic to see everybody out there. It looks like it's going to be a great day, and we encourage everybody to come on out and soak up some sun and watch this fantastic level of competition.
We'll be right back after these notes.
Ready to update your home and...
That's it for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. We'll be back with more during the 10 o'clock hour, talking Special Olympics and finding out a little bit about some of the fun junior achievement student-run businesses that are going to be going on here this week. Before that, the news, ABC, with our national and international reports. Then back in the WSGW newsroom for the local and state news.
Broadcasting from the